Hello, humans, human fellas. Welcome to another episode of Content Breaker. I am strangely entertaining, and I'm joined with Kelz over here and Static Dreads. Evening.
Pink.
Greetings.
We were pink on Wednesdays.
It's salmon for your new agriculture / environmentalism gig. Very proud.
Thank you.
Very proud.
Yeah.
Even though in
Saving
our
the
region
earth.
we don't have salmon here, but we respect the insides.
Yeah. And I gotta tell y'all the inside secrets of the agricultural world. Bees
Bruh.
actually aren't endangered.
Okay,
Whoa.
get out of here with your conspiracy
Oh,
business.
no.
No, it's a fact. Butterflies are more Butterflies and wasps are more endangered.
Well,
All right.
habitat-wise, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Crazy. At least in our area that we are currently in.
Okay, that's important to recognize. Locality is
Yes.
vital. Anyways, welcome.
But
to
also
us.
overall, yeah. Welcome.
What are we talking about this week?
Today's episode's all about commercials and movies disguised. Sorry, commercials.
I
Shows
told
and
you the
movies
title.
disguised as commercial.
Commercials to sell specific products or toys that are disguised as movies or TV shows. Much like Haagen-Dazs and the bee conspiracy, apparently. Statistically speaking, I can't, as a professional, I need some statistics and sources and shit. But yeah, much like us trying to sell you something by making you watch media you want to consume, we're going to be talking about shows that are designed to either just sell you a toy or shows that are heavily merchandised outside of the creator's original intention.
Yes. Yes.
It sort of achieves the effect of, like, it's basically a commercial now. You just watch it, buy the things, have a good day.
Yeah, buy the things and have the existential dread.
Bruh,
Yeah, it's great.
I just remember my dual disc.
Man, I always wanted one of those.
We're gonna get to it, but yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So the major example for me that comes to mind of a commercial disguised as a TV show is the one and only Transformers.
Yeah, like Hasbro
Autobots.
definitely. I could not for the life of me figure out where Transformers came from.
Japan.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with I think either my sister, somebody, and they were like, we were just talking about the origins of like shows and stuff. I was like, I feel like Transformers just kind of like spawned out of nowhere, not based off manga. It's not based off of like anything. Like, it's just kind of spawned. I mean, like, because it is Japanese, but it doesn't have like a light novel. It's like an original work. And then you go through and you see Hasbro created the show just to sell the toys.
So
and thus, Michael Bay.
Yes, eventually we get to Michael Bay. We'll get to it. But Hasbro is a media franchise in combination between Takara Tomy of kind of model kit injection molded toy fame from the 80s and American company Hasbro. And
That's interesting.
Generation 1 was literally just a show made to get you engaged with these characters. The mechs were largely designed by Shoji Kawamori, who also was the creator of the Macross franchise.
Makes sense. There's some cross there.
Good effort. But yeah, just bring in this talent together to fund a merchandising empire, which is kind of weird with the way that the streamlined mangaka produced stories that are then converted into animation goes nowadays.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a weird vibe because now since we have like with the rise of figures as someone who has the whole this side of their room figures like in boxes, bad, but it's like nowadays it's like okay, are these things created like merchandising is just a part of the game. Like it's not like if you have a popular anime, it's gonna get a figure, it's gonna get like a wall scroll, it's gonna get XYZ, get a T-shirt, and I feel like that's just kind of hand in hand like with it. Opposed to like back in the day where it's like we gotta make toy sales to like, or we gotta make this commercial to generate toy sales. That's where money was coming from because like who runs the household? Kids. So buy things for kids. Okay, we're gonna market to all these kids in America. You need a transformer XYZ. That was a play, and that kind of set the whole booming like '90s thing where your show has to make money. But the toy, which is the most infamous one I can think of, is like Teen Titans, best shows of my childhood and of your childhood, was canceled because it couldn't make toy sales, which was ludicrous because it was so popular, but it didn't make stupid toy sales.
Didn't matter.
So this is a good time for me to air out my grievance with Transformers. I believe Transformers have a lot of these problems, like how big the boom was for the toy sales based off Transformers, and everybody tried to replicate.
Transformers was the problem. What about Masters of the Universe or He-Man, and or She-Ra, which
He-Man. That's a good point.
is a media franchise that's created by Mattel, a competing toy manufacturer.
He-Man's also the problem, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I found no cohesive storytelling. It feels like it was literally just made to sell toys. At least, so we got Optimus Prime having like whole ass existential, like the Autobots and everything.
That came much later, though.
I mean, did you watch the '80s Transformers?
Okay. Bit of it. It's like
Megatron was like, "I'm a gun, pew pew pew." Okay, that did happen. So like,
well, yes, Megatron was a whole ass Luger.
Yes. So
everyone else is a vehicle, and fucking Megatron is a gun.
Yeah, which I love with my whole heart. If I'm being honest with you, like,
it was funny. I was like, a gun, that's so lame. I mean, but in a later series, he can transform into a whole bunch of different animals and stuff like that. I'm trying to I can't remember. It's a very specific series, and it was like the original Transformers I grew up with and I watched.
Somehow the 2000s one, like Prime.
Not Prime, not where they're all animals. It's just the Decepticons.
Oh, you're talking about Beast Wars?
Not Beast Wars.
Oh, you talking about the one where like, well, they all weren't animals. There was no Transformers. Were just Decepticons were animals.
Just the Decepticons, since there was a shark, and his name was Sky Shark, and I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about because that's the same one where Snarl was, who was one of my favorite Transformers. He was a Autobot. He wasn't a Decepticon.
All right. So other things that he can be are a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That was in Beast Wars.
A European dragon.
Yes. He became a two-headed dragon. Yep, that was the thing.
Wolf dragon. A head or a spaceship. A jet and land assault vehicle. Or a missile launcher truck, similar to the BTR-80 armored personnel carrier.
No, I had that specific Megatron toy, and he could he had 5 different transformations. It was crazy. I said, how?
In one toy?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because he could turn to a gargoyle and a dragon and a car and a jet. And
Fuck is this, Macross?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I just can't remember the specific. I've looked it up before.
I think we'll have to You take a look as we continue to discuss.
I'm looking.
No, not Sky Shark. Skybite. That was his name. I knew it was Sky something.
So yeah,
It says he's just in G1. What is G1
Generation 1 probably. But early on in the we can make use of animation to sell toys, we've got these franchises in combination between
2001.
major toy manufacturers in the Western market, along with Japanese animation studios and Japanese toy companies to come together to sell junk to children, which is very fun media landscape investigations.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it did start back in like the 80s. I feel like the height of it was like born in the 90s. Because like everything, like with the exception of WB, I feel like I didn't see a lot of WB. I just remember really looking Static Shock toys, having the hardest time
Yeah.
finding it.
That's really weird that they never had a Static Shock like
Yeah.
toy or anything.
They had a lot of the Justice League, but I was like about that, and I also wanted a Shaolin Showdown like Omi toy and a Omiko for, and I couldn't find those either. So like, yeah, I
So
did find all the freaking Spider Rider toys and get nightmares from them and have to return them. True story, true story. I had to return my Spider Rider toys because I woke up in the night screaming when I saw them.
No.
That's a true static story, right there.
Of course, it's only Spider Riders. That's the one that gets any toys. I mean, I love Spider Riders, not like, but you know.
So
Of course, that's the one.
Yeah, the thing we're focusing here on is the overlap between merchandising and media creation. And I don't think it was as blatant as it was in the 80s.
Oh,
But
80
certainly,
like-
merchandising went from the reason you make a show to a metric you gauge the show and the kind of content's success by. That's one of those things that now, if your show, you're given an opportunity to tell a narrative and get funded. If your stuff doesn't sell product, you'll get canceled. What are some examples of that we've found?
Well, like I said, Teen Titans probably the most prolific example of it. As
Yes.
aggravating.
Bionic
to-
Titan.
Symbiotic Titan.
Which is ludicrous because Bionic Titan, don't get me wrong, it was made for kids, but it definitely appeared to appeal to an older audience, I had to say.
And I
So-
don't know if that was the reason why nobody would accept, because they couldn't find anybody to make the toys. I don't know if it was just too complicated, or really all you got to do is make a giant robot. And that's like, end of the day, done and done. But I don't know if it was because it was kind of aimed at older, like everyone was like, nah, that's weird. We don't want to do that. So it is kind of strange.
And maybe it could be that.
Because it's like, how hard is it to sell a giant kaiju fight, right?
Hard, I guess, nowadays.
Especially
lot
when you
harder than-
compare it. When you compare it to all of the prestigious kaiju. Like, would you buy if you weren't in the know, would you buy a Godzilla figure or a Symbionic Titan figure?
I
Just
guess I
on-
would.
On recognition.
I would have to buy a Godzilla figure. Honestly, I had to think about it. I'm like, which Godzilla are you talking about? Are you talking about the one that looks like a raptor? Hate that
No, not
we're talking about-
Godzilla 2000.
one. Yeah.
The one that looks like a mutated iguana.
Symbiotic one. If I've been honest, like,
Now-
actually, no. If I saw them, they're always the Symbiotic Titan. Because for some reason, I'm thinking of like just like the bigger character, like the fat dude as the Titan. I was like, that's not what the Titan form. I'm picking the
No.
Symbiotic Titan 10 out of 10 times.
Just because it's cool and a combination of the Iron Giant and a Spartan warrior.
Yes. What more do you need?
More sales, more kids like you to buy
Yeah.
the toy.
But, well, they never could make it. And that was one of the reasons why they canceled it. because they just couldn't find anybody. So, like, we don't want to dump money into a show that's just for watching. No, we want to make toy profits.
Yeah.
Which is one reason. Well, Powerpuff Girls, I think, was one of those where it falls into the second category we mentioned earlier, where it kind of got popular and then they merchandised the crap out of it. I do know Powerpuff Girls 2016 got canceled because the toys were not selling, which that show wasn't good. So,
But it's coming back, so.
No, I don't want.
No, yes, not the 2016 one, the original one coming back.
Okay, good, like that. Young
Maybe.
Justice was canceled 5 times over.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I ain't mad at that one. Young Justice went off the absolute rails lately. Because I feel like, I can't say what I feel like happened. Because it's going to get like, work all over where people think I'm representing things, and I'm definitely not. But I have a firm belief of why Young Justice canceled. I had to wear too many hats to do too many things instead of focusing on, like, every character didn't need to be everything. XYZ and all that. Like, it has some good moments, don't get me wrong. There's the Garfield boy PTSD thing. There's the all that. So, but like a lot of other stuff was just kind of like, what are we doing here? And Tara just, man, there is not a good iteration of Tara for me. Everyone's fucking creepy. Like, everyone has her with Deathstroke, which I'm like, when you look at it, I guess they're like, it's a comic book, but one character's 14 and the other one's 56. So it's like, it's weird, and they show them kissing, and I'm just like, please, no, I don't like this. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not edgy. It's just weird.
It's not edgy. It's just
please,
gross.
please just stop. And
you're not original, just nasty.
Yeah, I was not sad that Young Justice ended for the 12th time.
It ended like 5 times, man.
Could have been 7.
Taking it back to a classic, we have a show like Thundercats.
Mid. No.
Technically.
Thundercats, the OG, was such a marketing, like,
it was,
but it
definitely
worked
in that group. It did work. It was cool to see Lionel be like, ho ho, and then, Thundercats roar, and then here's the giant cat.
Did you watch Thundercats, King? Like,
yes.
My man missed every
single
call out.
I wasn't gonna quote the whole thing,
bro. It's required. Thundercats. Ho.
Oh, he said hee ho. What'd you say? Thundercats hi ho or something? Like they're on a boat?
No,
hee ha. Also, where'd you get the mech from, King? There was no mech in Thundercats.
I don't know.
Bro, Thundercats is so influential. You have the greatest basis of a generation inspired by that product.
Is that where he got his name from?
Yes, he's got the fucking symbol tatted on his fucking backside of his palm.
Yeah, that's gonna be me one day. Why do you have the fruits basket on your face? Mind your business.
Why do you have Toru Honda getting smacked by Cat Kill off the mountain of trash?
Oh no. Oh no.
Anyways, yes, Thundercats.
Yes.
Another obvious toy ploy, based off a comic book franchise, that was written, but they learned the lessons of Masters of the Universe, who made some comics, made some toys, and then tried to make some media to sell it. They launched the TV series and the line of action figures produced by LJN, an American toy company, at the same time.
So my question is, why did the second Thundercats, like arguably the best Thundercats, I think it was Thundercats 2012, if I'm correct.
Same thing. It wasn't selling any toys like the original. So
again, it's 2012. Who needs toys? We have the internet by now.
Cartoon Network's judging everything on an old way of thinking. This is also around the same time that they've gone from real animation to live action content, right?
Okay, so it's Thundercats 2011. My bad.
2011. Yeah.
And it was like really popular. And the funny part is, once they ended that, that's when they went downhill. Like, because what made me so mad was we got to the episode, because I was an avid watcher. We got to the episode where my boy Lionel is like gonna confess to Chitara. Is like, yo, I got a thing for you. And then he walks in on Tigra or whatever his name, Tigra. I always forget. Because he's a bitch. Making out with Chitara. And I'm just like, bruh, the pain. And this man was about to go on his whole Chad arc. And they just ended it. I'm like, no. I was ready. He was about to make the best album of all time. He was about to make the Carter 3. And like, we just didn't get it because Cartoon Network had to suck. I was so mad.
No, he was about to make Take Care, man.
Oh yeah, he was. He was about to make Take Care.
Fucking season 2 of Thundercats 2011 was about to be just pure sad boy shit. They
You were
gonna
just
lose
about
to
to-
Mumra. They gonna lose to Tigra. Just Lionel ain't gonna be happy for at least another 24 to 52 episodes.
And then you're gonna hear Underground King start playing like
On the way up, though, like we gonna close the album with an upswing that sets up for season 3. Yes.
Speaking
like-
of cats, there was another the 4Kids dub of Tokyo Mew Mew. Totally
Listen,
got
sir.
axed. It got axed because it was not selling anything. No, nobody wanted to buy those toys. I don't know why.
This-
Listen, King. Tokyo Mew Mew. Mew Power, as we say in these streets, was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like, I love it. The theme song was so clean. I still listen to that and cry sometimes. Why? I don't know, but I do it because I love it. And secondly, or thirdly, anyway, like, Tokyo Mew Mew came back, and we're getting the full adaptation because I don't think it was toy sales. I think just the adaptation in Japan. Well, no, that's not true. Adaptation in Japan did finish, but it had kind of like an ending. And I think 4Kids didn't want to adapt that because it was bad. And like some people, like the true reason it ended is still shrouded. Some people say it was toy sales. Some people say because the ending in Japan wasn't received well for reasons that I don't want to spoil for y'all in case we do have the same ending, just more fleshed out. Like, I really think we're getting like a Fruits Baskets 2019 Tokyo Mew Mew, like, because everything's just coming back and getting the full adaptation. But I will say I can see it being toy sales, but also I think that one might be like a gray area because it was like never really marketed well by 4Kids either. Like,
But they just put it out there and they just expected toys to fly off the shelf like their other shows. They didn't really have to market them specifically. They just put it out there and people bought toys, I guess.
and there wasn't really a lot of Tokyo Mew toys to begin with. Like,
And that might have been the challenge too. They're expecting merchandise sales for merch that just doesn't exist in quantities that they're putting on the shelf.
like, and I could see like backpacks and stuff because I do remember a girl having a Tokyo Mew Mew mint. Or I think I forgot her actual like English 4Kids element or whatever, but she had one, and I was like, "Yo, I love backpack." Like, you watch Mew Mew Power? I was like, "Girl, I love Mew Mew." That's how I got my first juice buddy.
Oh, is that
was
what
cool.
we're calling it?
So
Yeah,
what?
that's what she was. You know,
Okay.
she was my juice buddy.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Taking it to a series that is definitely just made to sell toys. Lego films, which feature both Ninjago and the Lego movie. Let's talk about Ninjago
And Lego Batman.
And Lego Batman. Very technically, yes. Let's talk about Ninjago. Let's talk about Batman, and let's talk about the original Lego movie. So, Ninjago, go.
Okay, Ninjago is a story about Lego ninjas. Who's the son of like Dark has 3 arms,
4 arms.
4 arms. So yeah, 8 arms.
19 arms. The
So
ninja.
I felt like I don't know. But yeah, he's got a lot of arms, and it's the story of like they're like the color. There's the black, red, green. I don't remember the other two colors. Oh yeah, white.
White,
Oh yes,
blue,
silver. Yeah, blue. Okay, yeah, there we go.
green.
And
Eventually, it was like
yeah.
in Power Ranger colors, I think,
That's
except for
yeah,
yellow.
green. Yeah. The white one is robot.
Yep.
Which
That
was yeah, but I was kind of into it. Like, not like in a sexual way, but just like following the stories that way.
I never really followed the show, but like the concepts they brought forth.
Show was good.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I was like, okay. I'm like, it's a weird concept. You just have spinning top Lego people, but I'm like, I'm for it. It seems like a fun time. And I was like Lloyd and his whole dad thing. I was like, that's kind of cool, actually. I like that.
Yeah, Lord Garmadon. That was his name.
Oh, God.
But like, here's the thing, though. As someone who worked at Target during kind of like the height of Ninjago was, that fulfilled its purpose. Like, there was a reason why we got Ninjago till like 2021 because like people kept buying that. I feel like it only slowed down during COVID because there were so many spin-offs, there were so many movies, and that's the last thing I remember because I would tune in the Cartoon Network sporadically just to see what they had on. The last time I did that years ago, because I don't even know if I have cable anymore. I do, but I saw like a new Ninjago movie. It was like literally just like hours of the Amazing World of Gumball and like Teen Titans Go, and it was like from 6 to 7, the new Ninjago movie. I'm like, so wait, out of all this bull, we have one shining diamond in a herd pool. Okay.
Yeah. One interesting business thing is with Ninjago, the masters of spin jutsu. You didn't tell me this was Blade. Is that
Took my segue?
We'll come back to it. You know, it'll work again probably. Yeah, we'll get to Blade in a minute. So one thing with this is, Lego is a company built on toy sales. As their primary thing, they're funding the production of Ninjago, and one of the things with Ninjago is its original IP, so they don't have to pay licensing fees on other things for the use in their product or the toys that they then go on to sell in the same way they would have to with like Lego Batman. So they can keep an IP, produce it entirely in-house, and rake in all of the funds instead of having to pay the WB, the only thing that's keeping the WB alive right now.
Well, dang. Interesting. So,
but they got enough funding where paying that little bit of licensing to use other IPs like the Lego Batman is worth doing. What was your opinion of the Lego Batman movie?
I thought it was good. I thought it was surprisingly good. I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would actually. I like how it focused on the story of like Bruce, opposed to like just being. Because Lego Batman was my favorite part of the Lego movie. That and that extra song, I really enjoyed, and then seeing more about that personality of Batman was really cool. And then the Alfred song about like depression and everything that he had in there was like so meta. I loved it. It's like, I am depressed. I lost my parents. Like, they really put this in this movie. Like, that's wild. Like, I felt like it was the meta humor that Teen Titans Go was trying to get that never landed for me. I actually really enjoy Lego Batman, and I hate that I haven't seen the second one. Probably go second one.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too. I was like, I saw the first Lego movie. Haven't really watched any of the others, but they don't seem bad. I just haven't.
Apparently, they all keep the quality, man.
Taking it one step farther, we have video games with other IP set in the Lego world. The first of real value that use an IP that's not original Lego, in my mind, is a Lego Star Wars. What's your opinion of this idea where Lego teams up with a specific IP and makes a Lego game based on that franchise. Lego Star Wars, Lego Batman,
Lego Avengers.
Lego Avengers,
Lego
Lego
Harry Potter, Indiana Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your idea of these games? Your opinion, your experience with them?
Get your bag, King. Like they have made, I know at least Lego, Star Wars has made boo money. I know people who are hardcore Star Wars fans say that Lego Star Wars is the best Star Wars game. Like, I kid you not.
Agreed. And
Like-
the new one they came out with, they just made, basically they put all their Lego Star Wars stuff in one game. It's actually really fun. Really fun to, like, if you haven't touched a Lego game in a while, granted it's still kind of mostly the same thing, but it's different enough to where it's like, oh, you know, and it looks pretty. The graphics are good. The gameplay's really good. Because at the end of the day, most of the Lego games you're gonna pretty much play out the same way, like the exact same way. I think I played Star Wars, Indiana Jones, because that was the second series, the whole second thing that they were doing, and then I kind of skipped a couple of them. And then Lego Jurassic Park came out that had all the Jurassic Parks at the time in there. And you could play as the dinosaurs and stuff. And I was like, that's fun and cool. But I haven't really touched them since, except for the new Lego Star Wars. But
Okay.
it's fun. You know, it's obviously there to. And they even made a spin-off animated show about it too, which is kind of funny. Yeah, no, there's a whole animated series of Lego Star Wars, and it's a whole thing.
Okay.
It's actually really funny.
So one of the things I really appreciate in the production techniques and decision making is, at least with Lego Star Wars, early on, there's no dialogue.
Nope.
It is 100% nonverbal cues to communicate what's going on. That's very interesting. We don't even have that sound effect. We just have them gesturing as they deliberate.
They added mumbles later on, and I think in the newest game, with the newest Star Wars game, they do have audible dialogue, but you could turn on a cheat, and it's called mumble mode, and then they mumble, and it's great.
And it takes and that's the thing that abstracts it and fits it with the toy brand so very well, is that you get the gist of the plot you've already seen with the film, but in a fun way that fits with your perception of the Lego brand. And that's what makes it work. Right? So in the same way with like Lego Batman, we take and we caricature the idea of Batman and make him kind of dumb, kind of silly, but still very serious, like the song, you know, I'm sad because my parents are dead. And that's what makes it fit in the world. Even though we have words, it makes it fit. One of the best usages of media to sell toys later on, because that's their primary idea. We aren't going to necessarily make money off the media, which we will, because they're producing it at a high quality now with, you know, with the technology behind the Lego movie, and that goes into the other films they can create. But really, their bread and butter, heart and soul, is selling Lego toys.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like real King stuff, right? You said one of the best, but I felt like hot take possibly. I feel like this next one is the best, and that is Beyblade. Beyblade gave us 4 seasons of heavy metal, mythical creatures and tops. And everybody and their mom bought it. Like, we already, you have to conceptualize, like, that we already had spinning tops. Like, Blade did nothing except make it hurt more. Like, and we still fell for it. Like, I remember when I asked my parents for a Blade as a kid. I was like, can I get a Blade? And then my mom was like, "You just want to spin and top?" I was like, "No, there's a difference. The difference is $15." Like, because
But then you
like, you
have
got-
the weights in it, and you have
Yeah.
the bit beast. You know, the bit beast is at least $20. They're giving you a bargain for it. So
yeah, and not to mention how much it's gonna hurt when you grab that hoe while it's still spinning, because your little mind brain at the time can't comprehend to just let it stop spinning or throw a rock at it.
oh
You gotta
no,
be like,
the
I'm metal, and then grab it in the base stadium and like, ugh.
no the
or-
professionals grab theirs. That's the thing. Once the fight is over, they reach in there and yank it out. They do. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all crazy.
No, they make it come back to them, which I still don't understand. Like, that was
Bruh.
the wildest thing to me.
All right, I want to tell you, I had the radio control Beyblade that didn't do a
Oh.
goddamn thing.
That's so fun.
Fancy. Fancy.
All right, so to pull back the curtain, taking it in connection to our talk about Transformers.
What?
Beyblade is that next gen, let's sell toys to children and make a TV show about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Oh.
same companies, right? We're dealing with Takara, which was the original company that developed them, that later merged with Tomy in 2006, making it Takara Tomy, the company we talked about who made the Transformers toys.
Oh, interesting.
I knew that.
Am I remembering this correctly? Or y'all gonna have to? Was there ever a Transformer that transformed into a top?
I don't know, but that sounds like some shit they would do.
I could 100% see it. And it's definitely a Decepticon. Decepticons transformed into some of the stupidest stuff. Creation.
But
Like, there was.
speaking of, no, go ahead. Tell me
Oh, no, I was-
what other crazy things the Transformers turn into.
I
The
know
boom
one
box.
transformed into a. One transformed into a plane that couldn't fly. Like, it transformed into a whole ass plane and just like drove everywhere, and I was so mad at that.
Form
I
of
remember
a
that,
fuel
actually.
filter, shape of a bucket of oil.
And then there was one that transformed into like I think like just a building. Like, it was so. Yeah.
Yo, shape of the Ferris wheel that turns into the Power Rangers
Oh my
Megazord.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, Ninja Storm! Why? We're gonna
No,
talk
that was
about
the-
Power Rangers.
That was the funniest thing. It's like, wait a minute. All those people in this Ferris wheel probably just died.
I love that meme, bro.
Mind your business. Mind your business.
I love
So,
that
Better
meme.
they come along for the ride. Which one did they do?
I love
yeah,
that meme.
Dinner and a show? Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? It's like, hey, let's keep riding this Ferris wheel. Who knows? Maybe we'll get caught up in a giant mech fight or something.
Yo,
That would be the best way to die.
Be added to the hero list for who saved the day. Yes, sir. Didn't do a damn thing but buy a ticket. All right.
Money.
So, other than Takara Tomy, who made the toys, we also have Hasbro teaming up once again from the OG days of Transformers to bring Beyblades to the Western countries.
Yes,
They're
which
still making them too. I saw one
Yeah,
that was actually pretty cool looking. I said, "Ooh, this is nice." I'm not buying it because
yeah, but I ain't buying these
that
newfangled
looks cool.
Beyblades. They even got Bippies. It's like, it's a unicorn. I'm like, that's fucking dumb. Like, I need a mythical dragon that controls wind, or a fire phoenix that has attitude issues, or a tiger that also controls
Wait.
wind but is different, or a
Yo.
giant sea
you-
tortoise that
did you-
controls water.
ever play though? Did you ever play the PS1 Beyblade
Yes.
game?
I
It was-
played every
that was
Beyblade game.
Awesome.
Yes, it was actually fun. I hate to do it to you, Strange, but it was not awesome.
No, it was torture actually. It was-
Nostalgia
it
is hitting you, because
definitely-
I played it. I played it a year ago when I found it in that big crate I told you that my mom gave me of video games and stuff.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, cool, Blade, and Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Files. Ghost Files still slaps. Blade does not slap at all. It's
I-
literally just so boring. Like,
I remember trying it out, and it's actually really difficult to control. And the computer would always just murder you for no reason. it was so bad, but it was so fun at the time.
yeah,
Now,
I feel that.
I want to ask y'all, Beyblades is the better Bakugan.
Yes.
Yes.
X.
How is your opinion of Bakugan, which is the same
Never
damn
touched
thing,
it.
It's
except
the lesser Beyblade. And
Never touched.
okay. It's the lesser Beyblade and the crappier Beyblade. Because my ball got stuck. My Bakugan ball got stuck once. Mid-transform. And I was like, what is this? I was like showing out one day. I got the new Bakugan. It was like after school. We were ready. And that hoe did not come out. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this is what you do on my debut? Like, out here? Like, you a joke? Am I a joke to you? And I was like, this wouldn't happen when Battle beat him on. Those little BB balls will fire the hell out of here. This, like, stupid Bakugan. I was so mad. And then the Bakugan show was equally ass. But I hate myself because I watched every episode. And it was
Really?
always trash.
Why?
Yes.
holy shit. I remember the first episode where this man is fighting on the street. And the Bakugan comes out and turns into a goddamn dragon.
Yep.
And all it is a motherfucking toy on the ground. But
Yeah.
And then the toys punch each other. Even though,
Yeah.
I mean,
what was
what is
wild?
that about?
I don't know. And the wild thing to me was like that one episode where the toy like picked him up and was like flying with him. I was like, how strong is this? And like, and then the main villain was like the girl, like the love interest girl, because she had an alternate personality. And I'm like, what? Like, and then they went to the Bakugan dimension later, like, and it became Digimon basically. And I was like, what is happening, bro? Like, what is actually happening?
It's like I don't know. And now I'm thinking. I know it's not Bakugan, but now my mind is flowing adjacent into Duel Masters, which I understood nothing that happened in the show.
EK. Just yell
I did
EK
not
every 2 turns.
understand anything that was happening. Oh, he's got a 7-star monster. Well, now that you have a 7-star monster, my monster gets an extra. I'm like, what is it? What's the stars for? You don't actually attack. They build up stars. I don't know. It was weird.
Let me ask you something strange. Did you ever try yelling EK throughout that process?
No.
That's where you went wrong.
Don't think that would have helped.
It would have. You didn't watch the show. Also, that show also hold me like Thundercats because it ended on a cliffhanger. I remember we had the girl who was like low-key kind of stupid and then like playing innocent, like, I don't know how to play Duel Masters. And then it turned out she was a traitor for the other side and was one of the dungeon keepers. And like that's where we left off. And my boy was like, what happened? And he was trying to find his dad on some gone. Oh my God, it's Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
It's
I was about to say this. I was about to say this. This looks like a cash grab between Tagashi, motherfucking our boy who created Fairy Tail among many other
Hiro
shows.
Mashima, yeah.
Hiro Mashima. That's what this shit looks like.
And now that I think about it, I'm like, this low key is the plot. Hunter x Hunter. Because he's like out here trying to find his dad that he doesn't know. Like,
I mean,
oh my God.
No disrespect on Shigenobu.
Full disrespect. He didn't finish the series. Full disrespect.
But yeah, that's what this reminds me of. Now, into card games. Let's get into the number 1 greatest card game ever marketed.
Pokemon.
Chaotic.
No, Pokemon is not the card game that was created. It's motherfucking Yu-Gi-Oh.
I thought it was more
Yeah.
chaotic.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
chaotic. Yeah.
Nah, man, Yu-Gi-Oh is the GOAT. Like
Like watching it, you just when I first started watching this show, I had no idea that the actual physical card game was actually out there in the wild somewhere. I was just enjoying the show, and I was like, "Wow, this is cool!" And oh wow, there's like all these different types of monsters. That's really cool. And then all of a sudden, I learned, oh wait, it's a real thing. I thought it was just a show.
so the fact that like getting back on like the merchandiser fact, the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh card games like in the series was so popular, like in the manga I believe, was so popular because Yu-Gi-Oh started off as like just like a death game. It was like a very dark show, like manga. Because if you go look up Yu-Gi-Oh Season 0, you'll see like Yugi acts. The Shadow Realm was death. Like there were games where like Russian roulette and all these other type of games, and that's what he was the king of. So I was like, oh, okay, and so we go from that, and then when he introduced the card system in like a throwaway game, like a throwaway chapter, like the whole Shonen Jump community was like, yo, what are these cards? Like we need more of them. So his editor and his team at Shonen Jump was like, yo, can you pivot this towards cards? And he did, and like there was no looking back. Like also RIP to the GOAT that we lost last year. He died saving someone's life.
Yeah.
Created Yu-Gi-Oh! Like forever love. Go buy his like last work where he illustrated the Marvel Avengers, which I keep meaning to pick up from Books A Million. I gotta do that. But yeah, no, like I think that's I know I said Play, but that's probably the best example because like the merchandising actually changed the show, and like everybody had Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Everybody had Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I don't want you to lie to me and
Nope,
say you didn't have
I
Yu-Gi-Oh
have-
cards.
I have Yu-Gi-Oh
Because-
cards. I still have them, my old ones. I even bought some new ones.
You did.
It's still
If
around.
If you say you didn't have, because I believe Eminem even had Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and as crappy as his life was, he had Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, come on, man. Like, and if you don't have Yu-Gi-Oh cards and you're listening to this podcast, yes, King.
Ooh, the Genzo
Yes.
10. Yeah.
That's so fire. That's so hard, actually. Oh my god. But like, I want you
from the beginning.
I want you to like at me, and I will send you a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I will be your distributor for your first pack.
All right.
First hits on me.
Jesus Christ.
If you say you didn't have Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Fucking
Can I tell
Yu-Gi-Oh
y'all a
dealer.
small story of my journey with Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
I suppose.
I don't have to listen, but sure. I'm just
I
kidding.
had a friend
Damn.
up the street. He had some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and he was.
Is this the
showing
one that
me-
broke at your house?
No, not that one.
Okay,
different.
I always have to ask that.
Different one. And I was like, wow. And then, you know, I was trying to figure. I saw like there was a 10, so I bought a 10, and it had some cards in it and stuff. And I put what deck I could. And I even had some cards from the movie. I think I somehow got all the Sphinx cards plus the Pyramid of Light. Maybe they were in the same pack or something. But anyways, and then apparently there was a Burger King down the road. And I went there to go play with, you know, the new deck I had. I was like, yeah, I'm going to play. And all of them were older kids. None of them wanted to play with me. There was one other kid my age. I played with him. I kicked his butt. He cried and left. And I was like, okay. And I never played Yu-Gi-Oh after that because none of the older kids would play with me, even though I still buy some cards every now and then.
Bro, let me tell you, being a punk ass little kid with a shit deck and going to Books A Million to play in the motherfucking league with my
Yeah.
brother, I
Humbling.
remember this vividly.
Humbling.
Uh,
Humbling. Because that was me in back when I lived in Detroit at Borders, man. That was humbling. Like, it's not like skateboarding where it's like everybody wants you to have a good time. So you come out. No, it's like, look at this third-rate jeweler with a fourth-rate deck.
No,
bruh.
and
Like,
still to this day, Yu-Gi-Oh is that game where you just have to humiliate the other person. Like, oh yeah, nowadays it's crazy. Y'all, they call us Yugi boomers because literally when we all
who calls us
decide-
that? Who calls us
all
that?
the all,
It's
all the Yu-Gi-Oh
factual.
no, all the Yu-Gi-Oh players, all the current Yu-Gi-Oh players who have stuck with the game all this time and stuff, and like there's like me who've only played like first generation come in, and they're like XYZ, you know,
Bro,
Exceed summon, Link summon.
When
I'm
we
like,
get to
what?
fucking synchro, I'm done, man. I don't know what
Synchro
Yeah, no, I
summon.
don't. I don't mess with all that new gen crap. I'm a.
And
Nah,
it's
that's-
like somebody can make an entire board full because unlike other card games, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't like say, okay, these cards are old, don't use these cards. They keep it's all one format.
I mean,
They
I know
don't-
there's a ban list, but
There's
yeah,
a ban
you know.
list, but that's like
It's not like the season is over. It's these specific cards are pulled for the meta, yeah.
yeah. And so like that'll change throughout time, sure. And even just recently, Change of Heart just came back. A limit.
Oh,
one.
it came back.
Yeah.
It's about fucking time. When did it leave?
Forever ago. I'm waiting for the Pot of Greed to come back.
Probably Green ain't never come back. That
It's
card
not,
broken.
but
You know what card I want to come back? I think Tone World is also banned because
No,
that was broken.
it's
like,
not.
Okay.
It's actually not that broken anymore. They actually
Oh, okay. They just fixed it.
They made a new Toon World card. It's a field spell, and it's a lot better than the old one. It's not really that great.
So, I love that we went on this side tangent about personal experiences because as of 2009, Guinness World Records, for whatever that's worth, named Yu-Gi-Oh! As the top-selling trading card game in the world, having sold over 22 billion cards worldwide.
Even more than Pokemon? That's crazy.
Yes, bruh.
Pokemon ain't shit.
Bruh, get out of my face.
I'm sorry.
Like, you should have said even... Sorry, no, sorry. I'm just like, you got to understand, King. You got to understand. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh! The top GOAT of all time. Then there's Magic the Gathering, because those fans are a cult, and we were all a part of that cult at one time. We were all a part of it at one time. Don't lie. Don't lie.
I don't have any Magic cards.
Anymore.
No, I've never had any Magic cards.
I'll be your first dip. Anyway.
I have thought about... I've thought about playing the Magic the Gathering Arena, the online thing, but...
That may be something to dip your toes into. It's like Hearthstone, but dedicated.
Yeah.
But not Blizzard, more to say, anyway.
So, but then there's like, XYZ, there's like some other stuff, and then there's Pokemon. Pokemon's big. It's probably in the top 5, but like it is nowhere near Yu-Gi-Oh! And then probably nowhere near Magic.
We just touched on Pokemon recently as a franchise, but yeah, in media that sells card games, I'm thinking Yu-Gi-Oh! I had something else. Pokemon is designed to sell video games.
Yes.
This is very true.
Yes.
Let's talk about Pokemon briefly one more time. Very fun. The animation was literally sold to sell a video game franchise. But yeah, the card game ain't shit. It's fun. It's nice to get your favorite Pokemon. But maybe I am prejudiced against the one Pokemon Professor card game referee that we know. But fuck the card game at a professional level.
No, it's literally you have to pour so much money because there's these certain cards that Pokemon have started to do that are kind of like, I'd have to get it. But it's basically that giant card right there. It's just a giant version of the smaller cards. It's like, anyways, they're these special cards, and you want to use those. You want to make a whole like I tried the online Pokemon application because I was like I'm curious. Somebody smoked me with all like just this infinite combo they could do, and I'm like, what is happening right now? This is awful. And I have my like basic Pokemon out here.
This man
said application.
Like, no, but Pokemon merchandising, crazy, bro. Like the games came first,
and fucking all of the plushes. I got a motherfucking Squishmallow, Pikachu, and Gengar, but not the big ones because they haven't come to our market. I hate that I know this shit about recent releases of Pokemon plush. But god damn it, if that's not knowledge that I cannot get rid of.
That's fire though. I'm just waiting for me to get like a Suicune plush because. Anyway, bad life choices. But yeah, no, I want a Suicune plush. I want a Lugia plush, and I will buy both of those heartbeat.
Oh, I have a Lugia one.
Oh,
we're coming to your house.
Tonight.
Door's 75% unlocked half the time.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, he's probably.
You don't know where he is?
Don't worry.
I remember.
We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it after I take you and your wife out to a nice dinner, and then Kelz is the inside man, like giving me updates. Yeah. But one thing I want to talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't expect to come home to a clean house, but one thing you want to talk about.
In the opposite vein of Pokemon being made to just sell merchandise. And kind of just like the merchandise always exceeding it. There's something that's so inverted of that. There's the show that we all love and grew up with called Totally Spies, which was originally created to sell an album, like a girl band group. Like, because the girl group was like popping at the time. You had like 3LW, Destiny Childs, whatnot.
Yeah, fuck is this? Cheetah Girls?
Yeah, oh yeah, Cheetah Girls. So all these groups. So Totally Spies was actually created. The series concept came from the rise of the girl groups and female singers in the music industry wanting to capitalize on the niche. David Michael and Vincent Calvin Demerse put together an idea to develop, which one later shifted into the production within a year. So they were going to create, along with Marathon Media, this like kind of like just one-off thing to sell like this album and like singing merchandise and all this. But no, Totally Spies blew up and eventually got 7 seasons of coming back for a reboot. Most beloved like marathon, if not the most beloved marathon show of all time, and one of the highest rating and highest viewed shows on Cartoon Network for its run. Fun fact. So, like, this show was literally made to sell merchandise and exceeded that by all means to the point where people watched it for the show and bought the merchandise simply so they could keep watching the show, which is very interesting because it was supposed to be like a one-done thing. But could you imagine, like just how that happened? Like, it's crazy because they're like, oh, no one cares about the concept. We were in the 2000s, the concept of like a 70s, 80s vibe show with 3 female leads that they didn't think will go anywhere because it was the time of the man. But like, just out because we were starving for it. Like, literally, Kim Possible, Juniper Lee, Carmen Sandiego, Totally Spy. Don't tell me I was not a feminist as a young boy, because I was. Like, all my heroes were feminine.
Bro,
like,
it's if the Charlie's Angels was a cartoon in 2002.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Also, like, I feel like they had the best balance of personalities. Like, screw Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Like, this was the perfect 3-man team. Yeah, this Totally Spies was the perfect 3-man squad.
The redhead came in handy here.
Jerry was the best Kakashi I have ever seen. Like, I remember when that man showed up in the field and had the piecework, bro. Like, they were like, he was throwing hands, fists, knuckles, everything. But nah, shout out Totally Spies for being the best merchandise to like take ever. Like, it's like, oh, you have an accidental baby and that baby's like Michael Jordan. Like, the best thing that ever happened to you.
And then I do want to touch on this. I know we're getting close on closing out here.
Touch on it, Dan. Touch on it, Dan.
Colorful suit adjacent.
What?
Power
Okay.
Rangers. Power Rangers. So
I thought that was the name.
I didn't know where it was going.
I was like, what type of like hippie-induced coma-ish is this? Color suit adjacent.
Color suit
adjacent. Yes. Okay.
So like Power Rangers, right? Not only did Saban, like he was looking at this. No, listen, he's like this stuff is so popular in Japan right now. It's like, what if I also took it and merchandised our own stuff over here? So he pretty much like he just took it and brought it over, and then that's how they just started selling toys. I got so many Power Ranger toys. Don't even get me started on how like my favorite one. I had the Wild Force Megazord. That was one of my favorites. And then I got the Dino Thunder one somehow.
Yeah. My favorite one was I had White Ranger from Dino Thunder. I had the Omega Ranger from I had all the SPDs. SPD was the only run where I had all the toys because like somehow I convinced like no, it was I had saved up enough money from like my allowance. I just went and bought them all while they were in stock because I remember like back in our day, kids, you couldn't order stuff off Amazon. You had to just get it from the store. So, and the store only had a limited amount of quality for things. There was like only shelf space for enough things. So, like when stuff got put out, if you didn't grab it while I was there, you were SOL. Because I remember I would try, and like, man, there was one time, no disrespect to the Time Force Pink Ranger, but I was so disappointed when I got there, and that's all they had. I was like, really? No Quantum, no Red, no green alien dude, just the Pink Ranger.
I was upset I could never find the Quantum Ranger Zord at all.
It was so hard. It was so hard to find. Like,
I wanted that one so bad. I got the blaster though.
I stole my cousin's.
I had the blaster. I had the one where the ship turns into a gun. I had that one. I had the badge where they're morphers, I guess. Gosh.
Yo, fuck
I
the
miss
Baby
Time
Blue
Force.
Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Like,
What?
fuck that kid. Anyways.
Oh, the one who became who replaced Billy. Well, yeah, I was like, who the hell is this? Who the hell
And he
is
was
this little
a
kid?
pain in the ass for 75% of the movie till he got the key and went in the Power Zord. And, anyway.
Yeah, and then he was like in Turbo, and then he was like, I can't go to space. I'm like, then why are you here?
Right.
But
Like,
One Zord I wish I could find, or I don't ever think they made a toy out of it. Was the Megatrain Zord from Lightspeed Rescue?
yo, the Train Zord was definitely a thing. You could buy
No, it
each
wasn't.
car
I couldn't find it though. That's
because you didn't
Oh.
look.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to get away from Power Rangers because we're talking about that. But
Very briefly on Power Rangers. Of course, Hasbro
what's
coming
it-
in to take the
what's-
lead from Saban. Of course, this being Super Sentai being produced by Toei and Bandai as the kind of toy company. This is the 90s. This next step from Hasbro, American companies and things. We have now moved on to Japanese original ideas from the 80s show and toy company combined to then that just being imported to sell the shit that's already being made right here in the States.
it's
Now,
crazy, and it's still popular today. Wow.
moving beyond Power Rangers.
What's the other one with the lions that I can't remember the name of?
what?
The
Thundercats.
lions. No, not Thundercats. Got your yellow
Battle
lion.
beat 'em on.
Are you talking about Voltron?
Yes.
Okay, I was like,
I couldn't remember.
this man said the yellow lion. I'm like, not yellow. That's what triggered my brain. I was like, it's not yellow. It said the yellow.
Listen.
I love it.
Yes.
No, that was it. I was trying to remember the name of it. That was all. It was Voltron.
Yeah.
All right. So you're getting me on my final brain thread here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Voltron being the Super Senton of anime series, or Super Sentai, excuse me, of
I was like,
anime
what?
series. I'm working on it. Where we have giant robots that come together to form one giant robot. That's from 1984 and 1985. Very exciting, very specific genre. But
Yeah.
since we've moved on to Japanese robot animation, I would be remiss to not mention the one, the only,
Uh-oh.
the toy brand that is not Transformers, that is fucking everywhere. And that is Sunrise Animation.
Gundam.
Mobile Suit Gundam, right on the money. I've got a Gundam
Yep.
kit sitting right off camera.
Ooh, which one is
Oh
it?
my god, it's Grandpa. It's it's RX-82 RX-78-2, the OG.
When you gonna put it together?
When I get off my ass into it.
Yeah.
But no, the OG Gundam really defining the real robot mech anime, where these are basically tanks and the tragedy of having young people do war and all this other stuff. But the robots exist as toys to be sold and bought and put together. And we have turned from Transformers that can be rearranged from car mode to gun mode or whatever to now Gunpla.
Yeah, which is crazy because so many Gunplas nowadays. Like you got there's so many Gundams and just keep going and adding to it.
They
like-
just keep making series about.
I mean, yeah. Like shoot, we're about to do Zeta Gundam on our other podcast, hopefully. And like I can never remember Charles Gundam. Like what is it called?
Man said Charles Gundam, like he
Oh,
was he was the founder of Gundam, Mr. Charles L. Gundam.
Mr. Charles.
No, because he was the first in Mobile Suit. He was like, what was his
talking
unit
about the
called?
main character? What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
Char.
Char.
Char. I keep an S on it.
Oh, Char. Yeah, the bad guy. Yeah.
Char Aznable, rocking the Zaku number 2.
Thank you, Zaku. Thank you.
Zaku. That's
Like,
it.
what was it? Was it Armored Zaku or like Death Zaku, where he had all the expansions and the giant like horn and stuff? Like, that was the first Gundam that I had, and I cannot remember what that unit was called. But then eventually I got Shining Finger Gundam, which was awesome. And I still have that somewhere in my closet.
Where the fuck is Shining Gundam from?
Shining Finger.
That's
It's from Mobile
G,
Fighter,
right?
Yeah, Fighter G. Yeah, Fighter G. Strange, have you seen Gundam?
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, because I know there's a lot of stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the middle I haven't seen, but I know currently I'm trying to watch Witch from Mercury. It's pretty good
Good
so
luck.
far.
So
Yeah.
So good luck.
Happy birthday,
a couple
Happy
of the
birthday.
notable memorable franchises you'll run into. The OG Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yes.
Fucking 50 episodes or so from the 84. Also, thank God it was re-edited into 3 films. Definitely recommend that experience for your investment going back. That's what we watched on the other podcast, Your Typical Shonen Protagonist. But
Gundam Wing, for sure. Yeah.
Gundam Wing, yes, in the 90s. What's the other memorable Gundam franchise that's being imported to America? Gundam Wing. Brother Man had every single mech from Gundam Wing as a model kit.
You did, or your brother?
Him. I need to go steal them when I go to Texas.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know he was a week. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of conversation next.
Classic weeb, yes.
Yeah, no, like shoot, my brother had freaking what he had? He had a lot of the ones from Seed, which like everybody hated, but Seed had the coolest designs. Like the story of Seed was very questionable. And then Seed Destiny, there was no questions about that. I don't know what they were doing. But like I need to rewatch those to see if they are as bad as I remember them to be.
Fret not. In 4 years, when we make it to Gundam Seed, we'll discuss them. Mecha Mart just slowly inching forward.
But no, like I remember like in his like him put together those like, man, like Gundam's just the Gunpla aspect just feels so nice. And like I feel like now I'm just like too sporadic in my life to just sit there and put together one. But I really need to like just pin down a Saturday and just put together a Gunpla. Like,
It's kind of a zen moment. You focus on the details and just, you take the time and put it together. And there's something about taking it from pieces of plastic in a frame to a finished product that is just incredibly satisfying that you made that thing.
somebody's getting one for their birthday because that'll force me to sit down and do so. And also not have to keep it because that's my problem. The last Gunpla I made, which was years ago, I'm like, where am I going to put this where I like know it won't get hit or anything and all that. So it's going to be a gift to one of you and y'all can glue it together or whatever. Yeah, I'm not putting up with that.
Well, when you put together the shelves, maybe you'll have a space that's safe anyways.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
So a couple of other memorable Gundams as we wind ourselves out. For me was Iron-Blooded Orphans. That was a show where we take the idea of selling kits, we make cool robots to do so, but we tell a very compelling story. And that's one of the things that kind of denotes Gundam and other shows like it from the rest, is we really focus on the story of it. Sometimes, we have, I don't know how many different series of Gundam we have. We've been going on since the 80s, damn near nonstop. So there is a lot.
A lot.
But one of the major focuses is telling this story of, I would relate Iron-Blooded Orphans to 86.
I can see that.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
you know, the grit and grime and tragedy of war, but in the kind of fun, weird, lighthearted-ish nature of Gundam, right? That's really where the heart and soul is this kind of lighthearted aspect that gets you off guard as we get into the darker themes. And of course, most recently, Gundam Unicorn. I don't know what the fuck that is. And coming out now, we have the Witch of Saturn.
Witch from Mercury.
Witch from Mercury. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like space racism, which is a running theme.
Kind of, but actually very much accurate. Actually, you know what? You're spot on.
I'm like 6 episodes into Zeta Gundam. That's the point, is space racism, and fuck that shit.
Yeah, I gotta watch Zeta, or not Zeta. I gotta watch the one that come out for the movies, because they said the movies are coming to the theaters next year, or like later part of this year. And I want to see a Gundam movie in theaters. I got a lot of catching up to do. Also, I gotta since the Gundam timeline is weird, I took the middle route. It doesn't have Iron Blood Orphans in it, so I need to spin around and watch Iron Blood Orphans, because I hear it's so good, and I only know the really messed up scene that kind of was oh. But it's Gundam, so you're gonna be super bad. Unless it's Fighter G, because nothing bad happened. Except for, Master Age.
Master!
Yeah, this is some fate shit where we just take different routes from Mobile Suit Gundam.
No, Gundam has one of the craziest expanded universes next to the Natsuverse, and which is Fate.
Yep.
Multi-Blood verse, and the other verse. I can't remember. I don't know.
But we got Universal Century. We've got
too many to name.
So many. Future Century, After Colony, After War, Correct Century, Cosmic Era. Holy shit.
Wow.
And the fun part about all of these things is the shows that release are not in chronological order, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Iron-Blooded Orphans is a part of a timeline that hasn't had stuff released since early 90s. And that's the fun of it. That's the fun of Gundam. Giant robots doing shit that you can care about deeply if you want to.
Yeah. I'm on a Gundam kick now, so that's gonna be where my mind is. And I'm gonna go rewatch. I'm gonna rewatch Zeta, because that's what we're gonna podcast on. But after Zeta, I'm probably gonna Turn A Gundam. That's the one I was trying to remember. That's the one I was trying to remember.
You said Turn A.
Turn A.
Yeah, Turn A Gundam.
The one with the big mustache.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones in my opinion.
Yeah, who is this man? Okay.
I just remember playing on that Gundam Versus game, and you could just literally toss a nuke in the middle of the field and blow everything up. It's great.
Bruh, don't get me started on, video games. Motherfucking Gundam Battle Assault for the PS1. Nothing like random Gundam fighting games.
Like that Gundam Warriors game. That was interesting.
I am so excited to rewatch Gundam. That's what my brain is hyper focused on. I just looked them all up in chronological order, and I'm saving this file to that.
That's very technically what we're doing on.
Okay.
The show, is we're not necessarily watching them timeline order. We're watching them chronologically. It just helps that those line up. In case it was poison because you're coming for his Lugia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Suicune, excuse
me. You could have snuck in my apartment already and poisoned it. What do you mean?
Well, I'm here. You can't see me. My people are there, though.
I'm looking forward to Turn A because, man's headpiece went to a motherfucking mustache. And, we're getting to it.
Turn A is fun. But, to not make it a whole Gundam podcast, which we should do at some point. We definitely should do a Gundam podcast. But yeah, just like kind of knocking out some of the other commercials disguised as shows. Definitely got to give mention to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because there's been so many iterations, and I feel like they're all made just to sell things. Which is okay.
That's true. All started with a comic book, made the show, and now it's just made for toys.
Yeah, and yeah, from there we yes. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, chaotic, of course, which I think that was a failure all around the board. Like one season, no one bought the cards either. So.
Pretty much, yeah.
Poor chaotic. Dungeons and Dragons, which had like the 80s or 90s show to sell the game, which was like crazy because like Dungeons and Dragons has always been like a huge success. Like got a movie coming out in 2020, so I feel like that was counterintuitive. Maybe they just did it to see if they could milk more money. Like wasn't necessary, and the show was kind of very much trash from my memory. And then Street Sharks, man. Street Sharks is literally just made to sell toys, and man, did it not accomplish that. Like it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with sharks, but with none of like the lessons, none of the Master Splinters, like
it was
just
mindless, yeah. I don't know why, but the one I remember, like the one character I specifically remember wasn't even a shark; it was an orca. That was my favorite. But anyways.
Oh yeah. How about that?
I'm like, wait, you're an orca. You can't be a street shark.
Orcas are super violent. But anyway, and then of course, like, you had that's really all the shows that I got except for Jim and the Hologram comic, then a show, then was like
movie.
makeup. Yeah, a movie. So like Jim and the Holograms was actually a really good marketing team because it like did everything. Like went to prominence, I feel.
Holy shit.
People remember it fondly, although I wasn't ever in my circle. I never picked up on it specifically.
Yeah.
It's another joint collaboration between Hasbro's Sunbow Production and Marvel. Of course, animation of the OG produced by who else but Toei Animation.
Of course, man. Hey, who else? Who else but Toei? But yeah, and shout out Cubics, but not shout out Cubics. And
Did not age well.
Yeah.
At all. It wasn't really great to begin with, but it definitely hasn't aged well at all.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Again, I don't remember Cubics toys outside of Happy Meal.
Actually, I had the actual Cubics toy that you could actually pull apart and it changed them into vehicles and stuff.
Me too.
Really
Didn't
cool,
that come
actually.
from McDonald's?
No.
Yo, I had the Cubics Game Boy Color game.
Not even the PlayStation, but the
No,
Game Boy Color
no.
game?
Yep.
Oh
the
my
Game
gosh.
Boy Color racing game.
I don't remember that.
Me neither, but I have it. Well, I do remember. I remember not ever getting past the first level.
That sounds about right, yeah. I heard that game was tough. It took me a while to figure out how to play the PlayStation 2 game because it's like Pokemon, but with an extra step to it. Because you can't actually choose what attacks you do. It's really strange.
Just play Digimon.
Pretty much.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Digimon World New Order came out on PC and Switch today.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
honorable mention Digimon. Digimon's out there. Got a card game, got video games, got merchandise, got Tamagotchis that are branded Digimon, and fuck you if you call it a Tamagotchi. That's a motherfucking Digivice.
Where's it
Excuse
at?
me?
Yes. Yes.
Rub
Facts.
it in.
Right
Rub
here.
it in. Got the Digi Watch.
Yeah, look at it.
Got the re-release of the OG classic. Get the fuck out of here.
I gotta put a new battery in it, and they're probably all dead. But yeah.
Farewell, digital world. Love us some Digimon. That's why we started with Digimon over on the other project. But wrapping us up, final thoughts, gentlemen.
So much great stuff. Shout out to Sailor Moon. You know, it's on the wall. Iconic, no matter what you rep. The Sailor Scouts are excellent, guys. And I love it with my whole heart. Yeah, no, so many great shows that, like, I don't think this is a bad thing. I know we never gave our opinion on it, but I definitely don't think a show made to merchandise is a bad thing, because given this, like I said, Totally Spies, a lot of other shows that were made just for merchandising. Some of the Transformers are really good.
Mhm.
Gundam wasn't made to merchandise, but Gunpla's, like, I feel like made the way for figures and statues and other things. So shout out to those.
So if you haven't watched Transformers Prime, I highly recommend that one.
Yeah, I
Those-
think
those
that's
are
the
good.
really cartoony one, right?
No,
Okay.
nope. This is the 3D animated one. Actually,
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. But yeah, no, there's like so much stuff to get out there, watch, buy merch. Like, go do it. As a person who owns 26 figures and 2 years ago had none, do it. Do it. Your credit card company let you? Yes. Yes, they will.
Absolutely.
Thank God that new gig's coming in clutch.
Yes. Oh, Lord, yes.
All right, that's a wrap on shows that are commercials that are disguised as entertainment. We'll catch you on the
Good
other
save.
one, all here. Yeah, I'm a professional. All here on
I'm not.
Content Breaker. You catch us on all your podcatchers, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Podcast, or YouTube as well. Content Breaker. Gentlemen, you have stuff too.
Yes, you can find me at StrategZeds with a T, because I'm cool, on Twitter, where my followers keep going down. So what's up with that, Elon?
I think mine
Damn.
stayed about the same. Really weird. You can find me, look for Strangely Entertaining on YouTube and Twitch, where on Twitch I'll most of the time stream Tuesdays between 7 and 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Most of the times, usually 1 out of 3 weeks. Yep.
No, more like 3 out of 4. Thank you.
Okay. I respect the consistency. Speaking of consistency, check out our other podcast, Your Typical Shonen Protagonist, for all your on all your podcatchers for mainly anime needs. We will be back with coming Mecha March, starting off with the second Gundam series, Zeta Gundam, on Your Typical Shonen Protagonist. We'll catch you next week for more content.